How shallow people can be. It was with one of my closest friends at the time and they never spoke to me again. What surprised you about sex after having it for the first time? It's my favorite viewer, back for another story time, so good to see you. Since you're already here, can you like the video and subscribe? You wouldn't want to miss any more story times with your favorite narrator Andrew, wouldn't you? If you do, I'll send you some gamer girl bathwater. Thanks for doing that, the bathwater is on the way and let's get into the stories. That my core isn't as strong as I thought it was. That I was not pregnant as my public school sex ed implied I would be. It didn't hurt like I'd expected. I was a little sore, but it wasn't the, oh god I'm dying that's so often portrayed in movies. Also, how easy and relaxed it was. I have generalized anxiety so pretty much everything is stressful to some degree, but giving up my virginity was very comfortable. I thought that when he came, it would come shooting out like a fire hose or something. His pace quickened, then his whole body tensed up. I braced myself for impact, but nothing like that happened. I was like damn that is actually a lot of work. It made me understand Charles Barkley's quote when talking about NBA teams playing 3 nights in a row. I wouldn't even want to have sex 3 nights in a row. Queefs. She wasn't a virgin. I was. I thought she was farting. I found that out when it happened again a week later and she said, "You do know I'm not farting, right?" I pretended I did and googled it afterwards. My girlfriend fell asleep while I was losing my virginity, so yeah, definitely a surprise. Edit. Yes, we were both quite drunk. Obviously, I stopped when I saw her eyes were closing and she just wanted to go to bed. She actually made it up to me afterwards and our sex life was pretty damn hot for as long. No, I did not marry her. Boo-hoo. Where the vagina hole is, it was a lot lower down than I expected. I can remember foreplay with my ex, this was years ago when I was a teen, the night before, and I was like rubbing her groin kind of area where a dude's dick would be with my hands, thinking it would be turning her on. I'd watched porn before but never thought about it. Eventually she showed me and I was quite embarrassed, didn't matter though, had sex and lost my virginity. It was a long time ago, but I remember it as being not nearly as big a thing as I'd always imagined it would be. It was with my first boyfriend. We liked each other, were comfortable with each other, had fooled around a lot, and had talked about sex. I did not feel pressured at all, I wanted to do it, I wasn't nervous. It wasn't bad, it didn't hurt, it wasn't traumatic, it wasn't particularly pleasurable or exciting either. Afterwards, we went for lunch. I didn't feel at all different, nor did I feel differently towards him. I was falsely accused of rape after my first time. I spent the night in jail. Next morning I was let go. Her story fell apart and she confessed that I didn't rape her. She didn't know why she said it. Nothing happened to her. So I was shocked how it went from this amazing, I'm finally going to get laid moment to oh crap my future is ducked moment. I didn't realize the damage a woman could do to my life. Instant regret that I met her. Okay, as a girl, I was terrified of being on top. I thought that penetration would hurt, and I wanted the guy to be on top controlling it. I can handle pain better if someone else is doing it versus myself. I also didn't know how TFI was supposed to ride a dick. I honestly still don't know, I just bounce on my knees a little. I thought riding was the guy doing the action, not the girl. However, when I lost my virginity to my now husband, and even today, I quickly figured out that me on top is the only position we can do. His belly gets in the way of everything else. Also, that first penetration did not hurt like I've always heard. It might be I'd already used a vibrator, and he wasn't all the way up. He was nervous, but still. My first time was somewhat late in life. I was 24. She was aware I was a virgin, and I guess I'd have to describe it as her guiding me. My surprise was how great it was and how big of an ego boost it was. I'd watched porn but didn't expect it to be like that, so I didn't really have any misconceptions. We just clicked really well and everything went smoothly. I got a boost in confidence, and it felt like a relief in a way. For me, I had waited to be with the right woman. I had opportunities with women in the past, but knew they wouldn't work long term, not religious or anything. Just knew what I wanted. She and I are married now, almost 10 years, and I wouldn't change a thing. Foreplay was awesome. Everything was exciting even if the dude was bad at it. Being touched in any way was so stimulating because it never happened. The actual act though, I didn't feel anything, it like I didn't have anything in there. It was disappointing. Edit. Because of the discussion around this, I have to point out that this had nothing to do with the guy, his size, or about what he did or did not do. It was more about me than him. Most girls complain about pain in the first time, but with me it was the opposite. After that everything went normal and I could enjoy it, even if we were doing the same thing. How my life was exactly the same. I still cringe when I think back to 16-year-old me. Girl I had a crush on lost her virginity to a friend at a party. I wasn't there, and knowing that I had a crush on her, everyone was careful to keep that information away from me. When I found out, I took it personally, noticed a bunch of not so nice stuff about her personality, and blamed it, to her face, on how she'd changed after losing her virginity. I lost mine a few years later. Nothing changed for me at all. I looked back and realized nothing had changed for her either. All that happened was my own jealousy forced my rose-tinted glasses away, and my crush was just a fickle infatuation that had little to do with who she was as a person. To this day, nearly 15 years later, it's still something I think about and feel embarrassed over. Usually late at night when I'm trying to sleep. I think it was how amazing it felt when he first entered me. I had been masturbating for years already, and I knew how it felt to have something phallic inside me. But geez, it was pretty nice. And also how powerful I felt because his face in that moment was like I had his soul. Lamau. Edit, this is so great. I didn't think my comment would get so popular. Lol. I had the exact same reaction from the other side. How absolutely amazing it felt going inside her. Of course I'd been masturbating, but this was a totally different level. Also how I just lost my soul through my penis. Honestly, for me, it was like, oh, this feels kinda nice, and then it became, I don't feel anything. Foreplay was fantastic. Sex was mostly didn't feel anything. I managed to last a decent amount of time my first time, but it was so non-stimulating I lost my erection the next time, and the third time with that girl I had to thrust as fast and hard as I could or feel nothing. Then I had sex with another girl, and, yeah, I know it's not the wisest, but we had sex bareback. And I understood. Oh my god, did it completely change my opinion of intercourse. I went from not feeling anything really to not being able to last more than a minute. I definitely went from meh, foreplay I get, sex I do not, to oh I get it. That's when I found out the condoms I had earlier were terrible. I junked them, got new condoms, and things were quite different. Basically the condoms I originally used blocked 95% of the sensation. The newer condoms blocked like 10 to 15%, still great. That apparently I have a condition known as delayed ejaculation or retarded ejaculation. Simply put, it is very difficult for me to have an orgasm during sex. I just kind of keep going at it for a long time. You would think that would be a good thing. Women complain about men not lasting long enough, etc. Instead, my first partner, an older and more experienced girl, literally stormed out of my dorm room in a fit of rage because I clearly wasn't interested in her and definitely not a virgin. Both of which I was until then. Same. I don't think this is a topic that's often discussed, but if I had a penny for every time I've faked an orgasm just to avoid hurting her feelings. I mean, you hear about the inverse a lot, but a lot of women feel like there's either something wrong with you or with them if they can't make you cum. Guys are supposed to cum really fast or you're not hot enough or not doing well enough. Stuff like that. So, I faked a fair few orgasms after realizing I probably wouldn't be cumming tonight. Nobody's fault really. The attraction to the other person that it left behind. The girl who I lost my virginity to really wanted to have sex because she was a year older, super horny, and wanted to duck a younger guy, and I happened to be her cup of timid, innocent water. And my god, did she ever duck the living crap out of me when we were together, but she wasn't in it for anything more or less. She knew the name of the game and I didn't because she was my first, and it genuinely hurt to know that she didn't care to be with me the way I wanted to be with her. I knew what flings and FWB were, but contrary to how well aware of them I was, I still felt more, and I just wanted to be around her, and in retrospect, there wasn't much about her to stick around for. We had little in common. We were so different as people. It was just sex brain working its magic. There could be nothing there, but sex will make you think there's something there because that's what sex does. Sex is magic to virgins and a circuit breaker to veterans. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.